I get the pleasure of introducing our speaker. Love this. So she comes from an entrepreneurial background. Not only does she strengthen our perspectives and our actions, but in addition, she gives us a great tools that aid us to run for the next position. I appreciate her because of her transparency. Giving is just basically saying the highs are not so high and the lows are not so low. Just stick in there. You can do this. We'll figure it out. Okay. Nothing stops her at all. She does figure it out. And that's what I love about it, the attitude along with it. So get yourselves ready if you don't have a piece of paper or so to hear the footsteps of a leader as we get a glimpse of her journey as she trailblazes to RDP. Please put it up together. Put your hands together for Miss Roxann Corralejo.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Harrison. My goodness, I just love you. Your energy and everything that you bring is so phenomenal to just come in and run these calls while Mr. Thomas is out, and you do such a phenomenal job. And I just appreciate all the nice things you said about me. That is my goal, to do whatever I can do to take that information from whoever inspires me to pretty much just rob and duplicate and send that out to get that same inspiration to a handful of you guys. And that is just amazing. And I know sometimes going over the announcements isn't very exciting, but they're really, really important. And then you, just the way that you bring it and just the simplicity of it. Some people get into all the nooks and crannies and all the details and make it difficult to follow. And I'm like, all right, let's get to work. Let's hurry up this call and let's make that money, honey. Let's go. So thank you so much, Harrison. I really appreciate you. Well, good morning, everybody. As always, I'm super excited to be here. I mean, everyone always says super excited, but if y'all know me, I just really am. I'm always happy. And I'm always excited to be on this call because the information that I deliver really helps me. It helps my growth, the information that I put together. And now some of you guys can see, like Mr. Trolley, he does this, he's done this for years and years and years. And I learned from him, he still takes notes. He still has a plan of what he wants to discuss and talk about. So just know that we don't take this lightly. And it's something that we put a lot of thought and a lot of effort in. But one thing I know that I do is I include what's happening here, what's happening now, what's happening in my business, what's happening in my life. Because if it's happening to me, it might be happening to someone else out there. And one of the big things that's been kind of highlighted in my life recently is confidence. That word confidence. And I looked it up, and they have a bunch of different definitions, of course. And the one I really liked, it says the feeling of self-assurance from one's appreciation of one's own ability and qualities. So I'm going to say that one more time. The feeling of self-assurance from one's own appreciation of one's own abilities and qualities. Now, why I think that's so important is because we're talking about ourselves. And I love this call, and I love everybody on this call, and we celebrate every single one of each other. But how many times do you celebrate yourself? How many of you actually have that confidence in yourself, that self-assurance, that confidence in your ability and your qualities? Now you can say, yeah, I know how to deliver a presentation, but do you go out there and do you deliver it with the utmost confidence, saying, I am better than anyone else, that I can deliver this presentation and know nobody else can be better than me? Now, why? Why is that hard? Because there are so many phenomenal people on this call, but it's also, I don't know what it is, just programmed in our brains to not really be so confident. Now, I've always heard that term, fake it till you make it. And like growing up, you hear that all the time. And then when I got into ACN, I've heard a lot of people say, I hate that. Like, don't fake it till you make it. And then when you break it down, my thought of that statement is not really fake it. Don't be fake. You never want to be fake. You always want to be genuine. But I think it leads back to confidence. And if you're out there and you need to do a presentation or whatever it is for the very first time that you're doing, or peaking that person that you're scared to peak, it's that confidence. It's not being fake. It's having that confidence to go out there and that ability to do it until you get used to it. So confidence is earned, confidence is gained. And as long as you go out there with that your shoulders back, your chest up. And with that look of confidence, you will gain the confidence. And that's the best part of it. It's not something that I lack confidence. It's something I can't do. It's something that you can grow into. And Mr. Tejada said it yesterday. He went through, we did a leadership conversation yesterday. Mr. Efren Tejada, Senior Vice President, and we went through a conversation. One of his last points is said, just do it once. If there's something you haven't done, just go out there and do it once. And my interpretation is you only have one once. And then after that, it's easy peasy, but it's getting that gut to go out there and do it. And his example was, if you've never peaked 10 people one day, go out there and do it. If you've never walked around a mall and peaked Cold Market, go out there and do it. Just do something once, because once you do it once, you know you can do it again because you didn't die. That is the best thing, is that when we get over ourselves and go out there and actually do it, we realize we did not die. It wasn't that horrible. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It probably was, but we didn't die. And that's the best part. So which means we can do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again until we gain that confidence. So I want to talk about something that's been happening lately. So we're part of this we're part of this accountability group where our VP, Mr. Dean Tarali, is leading this call with another leader, Mr. Senior Vice President. And this is leadership conversations. Senior Vice President, Mr. Efren Tejada, and Senior Vice President, Mr. Jeff Weber. So we have some phenomenal people that are leading the charge, leading this call, providing accountability for us. The information that we get from them, the knowledge and the training and everything we get, people will pay tens of thousands of dollars for this information that they're delivering for free. And because they've spent that money to educate and learn and themselves, and then again, they rob and duplicate and deliver it to us. So they open this up to the Empire team, and they opened it up to everybody. Now I don't even know how many people are in this group or WhatsApp, and I told everybody about it. But the only stipulation is, to be a part of this group, because it's accountability, you have to hold yourself accountable. If you set your goals, you have to make it. Be your word. That is the number one thing Mr. Tejada always trains. Be your word. If you say you're going to do it, go out there and do it. Don't tell people or show people that you can't be committed to your own commitments. So they open this up to everybody, and the call probably has 25 people on it. 25 people. They open it up to everybody to be trained by some of the greats, and only 25 people actually showed up because of the fact that people are scared. They're scared, and they don't want to hold themselves accountable for their own actions, their own goals, saying, hey, if I make this goal of 10 peaks for a week and I don't do it, how bad is that going to make me look? So I really applaud the people that actually show up. First, you got to show up. That's part of being confident in yourself, is showing up. If you don't, you lost. You already lost the confidence game, is just by showing up at minimum. So now there's 25 people on this accountability call, and we set these goals. And part of that confidence is to be stretched. So you can't exude confidence if you're not stretching yourself, because you got to keep growing. It's always about growing and getting better. And so that's what part of this call is leading to be, is stretching yourself. And I want to talk about someone, and I'm not going to mention any names, and she's probably going to be mad at me, but I do want to talk about someone, because the downside to confidence. So yes, that's great. You go out there with confidence, but what if you don't have it? When you don't have it, guess what? You're in here. You're in here a lot. And so our very first call, they set these goals, and they said, this is what you have to do. And they were very difficult goals to be on the next call, they said. And I'm in the mindset like, all right, let's go out there and do it. And this person instantly started freaking out. Before the call was done, I was getting text messages, just freaking out. And I'm like, it's all right. We got this. The only thing is, you're thinking that you're by yourself, and you're not. I'm here with you. We got this. And so I'm trying to calm her down. I'm trying to give her that confidence, but she's already in here. And then right before the second call we have, she said, I can't do this. I'm out. I don't want to do it anymore. And the reason why I bring that conversation up is because it's very common. It is not uncommon whatsoever. It is a very common thing, because people get in their heads all the time. And that lack of confidence, what it does is it leads to self-sabotage. How many of us have been self-sabotaging our entire lives. There's someone you want to talk to and you're like, oh, I'm going to talk to them. Marvetta was the first one to raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that honesty because I've been the same way. And that's something I work through every single day, is to not psych myself out. And I know all of you guys, because I do it too, get in those situations. I'm going to talk to them. Let me just finish my order. If it's someone you see cold market, let me just finish my order. They look very sharp. And then you're like, oh, they're in a conversation. Let me wait for my in. And then all of a sudden they're gone. And you're like, I missed my chance. Trish is like, that's me all day, every day. Because it's self-sabotage. Get the heck out of your head. And that's super hard. But you have to have people to rely on. So when she's going through this, and I know she's having such a difficult time, and it's really hurting my heart because she's putting herself through this. Nobody else is doing it to her. She's doing it to herself. And I just get her on the phone and I said, listen, I have a huge favor to ask. I just need you to be on the call. Just be on the call. It is not going to be as difficult as you think it's going to be. No one's going to point you out. It's going to be okay. You will survive. I promise. So the second call we had was yesterday, and she was on the call, and guess what? She didn't die, y'all. She was on the call just because I asked her to. But if I would have been that person that let her give that pass, let her self-sabotage and say, you know what, don't worry, it's okay, we'll move at your own pace. And she wouldn't be stretching herself. And her being on that call was a stretch for her. So she was on the call, great. But beyond that, she set goals for next week. What does that mean? It means she plans on being on the call the next week. So when we talk about confidence, it's not only to how other people perceive you, because yes, confidence is attractive. It is so attractive. People sign up just because other people have that confidence within them. Byron Nelson, man, he can walk into a room and you're like, I'm in. I don't care what you're doing. I'm in because of that confidence. But think about yourself. Think about what the confidence brings to you and how much we can achieve when we have that in us. We can achieve so much more because we're not self-sabotaging. We're not in our heads. And even if we are, we tell that mind to shut up. I do it all the time. And it's so funny because I'll be out, say on a run. Oh my gosh. How many of you have ever talked yourself out of working out? Yep. I see all these hands going up. Absolutely. That's super common. We do it all the time. We talk ourselves out of business. We talk ourselves out of people we want to talk to. We talk ourselves out of working out. It happens. So sometimes that creeps up in your mind and you don't even realize it because it's so natural. And I'll be out on a run and I'm like, man, I am tired. I can't do this. And the moment that pops into my head, I'll verbally aloud yell at myself, shut up. It is not so cool when people are around you. They think you're talking to them and they're like, what the heck is happening? But I'm talking to myself and I have to say it verbally because of those thoughts in my head are so hard. And that's what gets me to keep pushing, keep going. I want you to tell that mind, that voice in your head that's telling you, wait, after this order, don't do it just yet. Just tell it to shut up and do it. I know it's so much easier said than done. It really is. But like Nike says, just do it. That's really all we have to do. Because like Mr. Tejada said, you only have one once. You do it once and then you can do it again and again and again. On the opposite side of that self-sabotage, I want to talk about another lady that I've been working with. And just seeing her confidence skyrocket because of the environment, because of the people, because of the national. So she had already went to one national and she loved it. It was great. It was awesome. Cleveland completely changed her mindset. Why? Because she's a different person. And we see that every single time. You come into this stuff and sometimes you hear the exact same information, but you're not the exact same person. If you're a different person, you receive it differently. And that's exactly what happened. She received it differently. And leading off of Cleveland, she has done so much more in her ACN business in these past couple of weeks than she has the entire time she's been in ACN. Why? Because she has that confidence. And this is someone, I will just throw this out there, doesn't even have a team yet. She does not have a team, but she's been working. She's been putting people in front of me. Just nobody has been biting. And sometimes that happens. It happens to me. It really does. And I can do presentation after presentation after presentation. Nothing happens. Yep. Harrison's like, I've been there. Everyone's, of course. And then there are some times where I'm just like on a roll and nobody can say no to me. What is it? I don't know. We just have to ride that wave. So that's just happened to her. We've been put in front of people. I've been put in front of people and I just haven't been able to close anybody for her. So it's not her, it's me too. I don't know what's going on. But since Cleveland, she's had that confidence in her. She was like, man, now I know what I'm doing. And this is someone that got severe anxiety just being around people, just getting out and trying to talk to people. But she's working through it. And I can't applaud her enough. And that's what this business is all about. But what I'm trying to get at is now she's attracting people. Now she's talking to people. I got a message this morning saying, hey, the president of this networking group wants to meet up with me. What? Someone who was okay hiding in the corner has people reaching out to her, wanting to connect with her and hear about what she's doing in her business. Oh my goodness. And we are just a couple weeks off of Cleveland. As she continues to grow and continues to get these events, there is no doubt in my mind that she will have a team. Not only that she will have a team, she will have a team that's growing and prospering that will be working without her because she knows now that she has the confidence and she can do it. So she can bring that to someone else that joins the team, someone that's new. But saying that she doesn't have a team right now, she set a goal for next week to get 2 IBOs. Not one, not just finally getting her first IBO. She said, nope, I'm going to get 2. And I was like, man, okay, if you're getting 2, I have to up my goals. She's even pushing me. So part of that confidence is also stretching yourself. Once we start building that confidence, stretch yourself. Go beyond what you think you can do. Just keep pushing and keep pushing. And guess what happens if you fall short? You won't die. You will reach further than you did before. So then you can stretch yourself again the next week or the next month or the next quarter, wherever you set your goals. So now an example for me. So we talk about, I don't have a problem with confidence most of the time. I won't say never. No. I do. I really do. But I can go out there and just push that aside and say, whatever, I'm going to suck it up, hold that in my gut and go. But we also need to make sure that we are confident for our team. And an example of mine, let me check my time real quickly. Cool. I have a few messages. I have, we're good to go. So we have 7 minutes. So part of Midnight Madness, this is something that I was in with Mr. Tejada and Mr. Dean Trolley and a handful of other regional vice presidents and regional directors, but it was set for us to stretch ourselves. This is my first time part of a Midnight Madness to stretch ourselves. And I was doing very well in the group because I don't like to lose. I need to win. And so an environment like that really works for me because I push myself, I stretch myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, who's beating me in numbers? Who's beating me in goals? Oh, that's your goal. I'm going to match it, or I have to one up it. That's just me and who I am. But we're in this call and I'm doing very well compared to everybody else in this group. And I set my goals and Mr. Tejada says, hold on 1 second. And he called me out and he said, why is it so low? And I'm like, oh, well, this week I have this going on and I have this going on. I don't make excuses, but these are my goals that I want to accomplish this week. And he says, nope. And he throws out a number. And Mr. Trolley, as my regional vice president, my upline, jumps in and was like, hold on a minute. And he throws a number out there that scares the crap out of me. Obviously scares the crap out of Mr. Trolley as well. And he was like, hold on. There's another RVP, which is a couple, an RVP couple on the group. And he was like, no, like this is significantly higher than this RVP couple. Roxann is a new regional director by herself. And why are you forcing her to set this goal so much higher? Because in this group, if you don't meet your goals you set, you owe money. We have to pay to play in this group. And so Mr. Trolley wanted me to be confident in the fact that I could actually reach my goal because he probably saw my face and Mr. Tejada threw it out at me. And so he had my back and he was like, hold on. Like, you're sitting her way up here and everybody else up here, like down here. What's going on? Like, why are you picking on Roxann? And Mr. Tejada said, hold on. He's like, do you think she can accomplish this? He's talking to Mr. Trolley now. And there's like 50 people on the call. And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And so he goes, wait a minute. Do you think she can accomplish this? He goes, no, but why is she like pushed so far? Like, help her out here. And he was like, no, Roxann can handle this. Even against those 2 regional vice presidents, Roxann can accomplish this. He goes, well, Roxann, what do you think? Can you do this? He asked me in front of 50 people, I'm not going to say no. And I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, yes. And it just like, okay, let's do it. And in the back of my mind, I'm freaking out. And that's where self-sabotage sits in. I was like, man, because also if you don't make it, you get kicked out of the group. That's it. Midnight Madness, you're kicked out and you can't re-enroll until next quarter. They do it once a quarter. And I'm like, man, this is pushing me so bad. But you know what? Like, yes. And that week stressed me the heck out. It was crazy. Did I make that goal? I don't even know. That's the point. It doesn't matter. I don't even know. But guess what? I blew everybody out of the stinking water because I pushed myself. I stretched. I kept pushing. It doesn't matter how far you push yourself, you will push yourself farther than you think you can imagine. And Mr. Tejada says it, and he's called it I have it somewhere in my notes. What is it? Like an impossible goal. Set an impossible goal, a goal that you think you just can't accomplish. What's an impossible goal for you? And he mentioned his first one, which was mine. Making $10,000 in 1 month was an impossible goal for me. Yeah, I see everybody else do it, but that doesn't mean I can do it until I actually did. If you set these impossible goals, you may fall short time after time again, but you're getting closer and closer and closer and closer if you don't talk yourself out of it. That is the goal. That is what confidence I want to talk about today, is the confidence you have in yourself. Yes, going out there is attracted to other people, but you guys, you know what? I believe in you. How come you don't believe in yourself? I believe in every single person on this call. Those two ladies I talked about, I believe in them so much more than they believe in themselves, that now they're getting that confidence in them. So I want you to do that same for your team. Believe in your team more than they believe in themselves. Mr. Tejada believed in me more than myself, 100%. And he pushed me and stretched me further than I could ever imagine, because he knows it's possible, because he's done it before. He's like, I did it. Yeah, maybe it was 10, 15 years ago, but I did it. I know Roxann can do it. I know she can go out there and do it if she just pushes herself. I know you guys can go out there and do it if you just push yourself. So set that impossible goal, one that you think is impossible. Don't look at it every day, not because you'll never reach it. That is not the objective, but to prove to yourself that one day you will reach it. One day you'll continue to get closer and closer and closer, as long as you don't give up. Being on this call is awesome, and it builds that confidence. But listen to this information as a different person every single day, because our whole objective is to continue to grow. The more you grow, the more you succeed, the more you will accomplish, the more confident you get. So don't fake it until you make it, but exude that confidence until you have that confidence to go out there and talk to anybody you want to in the entire world. Y'all, someone talk to Tony Parker. Someone talked to Tony Parker and got him in the ACN. If you did not know that, that is 100% true. Tony Parker was in San Antonio when I was living in San Antonio, and I did not talk to him, but someone did. What if you had that confidence to go out there and talk to a Tony Parker or a Byron Nelson or an Efren Tejada? You guys have to hold that confidence in there, because it will grow your business. But all you have to do is believe in yourself. You believe in yourself and everyone else will follow. So that's the topic today, you guys. Get that confidence in yourself, stretch yourself, continue to grow. I want this month of July, we're in the middle of the year, to be that start of your stretch. Stretch yourself further than you ever have before. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand it back to you, Harrison.